Good morning. Today we're going to start talking about sentences. We're going to start moving into working on some grammar and editing and proofreading, which is very important, as you know, in your writing because it affects your ethos. We've been talking about this in class. So the first thing that we want to do this morning is define sentence. What is a sentence? And be sure and get this definition down, okay? I'll read it a couple of times. A sentence is a grammatical unit of one or more words that expresses an independent statement, question, request, command, exclamation, etc. It has a subject as well as a predicate. It begins with a capital letter and ends with appropriate punctuation. So let's go over that again. The definition of a sentence: a grammatical unit of one or more words that expresses an independent statement, question, request, command, exclamation, etc. It has a subject as well as a verb. It begins with a capital letter and ends with appropriate punctuation. So, a complete sentence must have a subject, a verb, it must complete a thought. Okay, let me say that again. A complete sentence must have a subject, a verb, it must complete a thought. So, if I say, for example, I was hungry, this is a complete sentence, right? I is my subject, was is my verb. It's a linking verb. We'll talk more about that later. I was what? If I can answer that question, I've got a direct object. So we've got every part of our sentence labeled here. Right now, I just want you worried about subject and verb and complete thought. But I was hungry. Complete sentence. Independent clauses are clauses that can stand on their own as a complete sentence. They have a subject, they have a verb, they complete a thought. So, I was hungry is an independent clause. There are two types of clauses. There are also dependent clauses. Dependent clauses cannot stand on their own as a complete sentence. They must rely on an independent clause to make a complete sentence. So, for example, if I said, because I was hungry, this is an incomplete sentence. It is a sentence fragment. It is a dependent clause. It needs an independent clause added to it in order to make it complete. Okay, so because I was hungry, I ate an entire large pizza. So this is a complete sentence. My subject, remember, subject is what the sentence is about. My subject is I. My verb is an action verb, ate. Ate what? An entire large pizza, direct object. So because I was hungry is a dependent, it's a dependent clause or a subordinate clause because it begins with the subordinate conjunction of because. And if this all sounds like Greek to you, don't worry, we are going to be working on this for quite some time. So we need to make sure